Back on the road again, as you can tell, and let it not be said that I didn't have you guys in my thoughts when I set up the establishing shot for this video today, because as you can tell, I have given you a magnificent view of the two pictures over my shoulder at this latest Marriott property. And as I always tell you, I'm sure that somebody walked into an art gallery and said, my God, I love those pictures. Let me have 42,000 of them, and I will put them in every single room of this particular branded Marriott hotel across the world. And I'm sure that's exactly the case. So we will be joined by these pictures for the next 6 days as I come to you from St. Petersburg, Florida, because, well, what's a video without having Marriott pictures behind me? But I'm sad to say that this is not the property that we have those two ugly-looking vases, that green, pukey green one, and that other magnificent orange one that really looks like an oversized bong that was raised on steroids. This property doesn't have those items to decorate the room, so my apologies go out to you. What can I say? Hey guys, Al DeMarco here, and this, of course, is going to be your Wednesday video report. Well, so much for the best laid plans. Yesterday was one of those rare instances where I happened to see an opportunity to hopefully make you a lot of money and save you a ton of money in the process, because I saw that Scott Delaney, Shawn Michaels, and Brian Rosica all had big 100-dime plays, so I jury-rigged here the system to give you the opportunity to buy one and get two handicappers free yesterday. And it could have been any handicappers, but the bulk of you, of course, took my suggestion and got all three of the guys that had the biggest plays on the site. Maybe I should have pushed myself instead, since my winner was the easiest of them all, and the first game finished last night with Washington on the run line as the $1.20 home dog, 7-0 over listless Philadelphia. You know, Scott Delaney delivered with a third consecutive 100-dime winner since Friday. Shawn Michaels, unfortunately, had the Brewers on the run line as a home dog, and a guy who had been 32-14 with a push with 100-dime max wager plays over the previous 27 weeks. He lost. And then Rosica, who was going for 100-dime winner number 11 out of 15 in his first ever in baseball, he got crushed as the Angels got hammered by the suddenly hot Houston Astros, and C.J. Wilson went down last night 7-2. But listen, I took a shot, and that's what gambling is all about, as did you. And if I ever see that situation come up again, I'm going to do it again for you. And I told you weeks ago, guys, in preparation for the summer, you know, the discounts always go up in the summer because you guys that are watching the video now, you guys that are playing at this time of the season, you're like me. You're a diehard. I mean, you realize there's money to be made in baseball. And, hey, look, this is our own little private gathering place in our own little community. And as I mentioned to you many, many times, if you had a pie and you said 100% of that pie bet the NFL and college football, and then March Madness, let's say 80% of that pie is still betting. And then when you get to the beginning of the NBA playoffs, maybe of that overall segment, you've got about 25% left. And now, when you've got the NBA Finals, no matter who's playing, and just baseball, you're looking at about 10% of that customer base from that original 100% big pie still playing. So you guys are the diehards, just like me. You realize there's money to be made. You love doing it. And if I can accelerate the discounts and save even more money the next couple of months, that's what I plan to do, just as I've done every other summer. As a matter of fact, today, the single biggest discount in terms of a money-saving coupon ever here on the site goes today, and that coupon is available to you to save $36 on a single purchase simply by using coupon code SAVE36. Now, that's not for me. That's for any handicapper here at the site. SAVE36. Now, of course, the half-price play of the day is back today, and I'm turning to Brad Wilton with his 100-dime winner number 15 out of 21. He just hit 100-dime plays in the NBA last Friday and Saturday, I believe it was. And they were both total selections, both of which you got, I think, for $9. Well, today he's got his NL Game of the Year. It's Pittsburgh and San Francisco. It goes at 6:40 Eastern Time. It's Pittsburgh and San Diego. And to put it in perspective for you, this is a guy who was one of three handicappers. I think it was Trace Adams and Anthony Rowe were the other two that had the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. He had a 100-dime play on the Seahawks. And this play is every bit as strong as that one from a guy who has made baseball bettors over $6,000 the past 2 years and made bettors in all sports over the past 10 months, $10,822. Again, half-price play of the day, Brad Wilton, and you use it. Coupon is half. The 777 triple play today, I saw Anthony Red had another one of his trifectas. Now, trifectas, when he has three plays of equal ratings, okay? Uh, he is on a roll with these trifectas, with the picks within the trifecta of 43 and 28. Nice little roll over the past few months. I saw he had 330 dime totals tonight, all in baseball. Nationals, Phillies, the Rockies, Diamondbacks, Pirates, Padres. 90 dimes of action. Get them all for $7.77 using coupon code RED777. Now remember, that's like the last name of Anthony Redd, REDD 777. And then I couldn't resist doing this. Chris Jordan, 32 years as a professional handicapper, 32 years, has never had a top-rated 1,000 star play in the NHL. Never. Has one tonight. I had to make it a discounted play, so it's the $9 payday payout. And I dare you to say that 3 times quickly. $9 payday payout. And then, rub your head, tap your tummy, the whole bit. First ever 1,000 star NHL release in his 32 years as a professional handicapper. Game 1, Rangers and Kings. You get it for $9 simply by using coupon code HOCKEY9, HOCKEY9, HOCKEY, and the number 9, no space between them. I will get to my free picks here, and I've won 10 of my last 14 over the past 7 days. Let me just talk about hockey here for a second. Growing up in the suburban Philadelphia area, of course, the Flyers were king because the Phillies sucked more or less. The Eagles definitely sucked. The 76ers, until Julius came to town, pretty much were awful too. So, you lived as a little kid, you watched the Flyers, and of course, you live in the Northeast. We weren't playing football during winter. I mean, we're out there playing, street hockey all the time. That was the thing to do. So I was very passionate as a hockey fan back in those days. And I'll tell you what, I bet hockey like you wouldn't believe in the late 80s. Always involving the Flyers because, at least there I always focused on the team that I followed the most closely. And it gave me an advantage because then I was just go on or against them depending on who they were playing. I wasn't going to venture out and tell you that I knew what the Vancouver Canucks were doing. But I lost my interest in hockey 15, 20 years ago. I just don't care that much. Now, I had one hockey play this entire season. It was the day after the Flyers fired their head coach after, 3 games. I took them that night, and they happened to win. That was my lone hockey play. But you can get Chris Jordan's play here, and I don't even know who he has. But the interesting thing here tonight, I'll tell you what, I like the Kings in this game. I like the Kings to win the Stanley Cup, too. Because, a lot of people look at the Kings having played 3 consecutive max series, 21 max games, right? Oh, they're a tired team, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing that Los Angeles has going for it, and I think it's 2 things. First of all, I think that in hockey, it's a little different than in other sports when you have series, that the sitting around hurts you. Especially when you have to come out for game 1 of a brand new series. And it hurts you more as a team than it does in the NBA. Because in the NBA, you're relying on the 5 starters. Hockey's not that way. You know it as well as I do. You got 3.5 to 4 lines of players. Will they have that same chemistry, everything going that they had from the last time they played? So I think the Kings are more game ready. The other thing is here, I'll take Jonathan Quick. I mean, when you back that team and doing what they've done, but more importantly, I'll take the scoring to the Kings over the Rangers, who have struggled offensively all season long. Do I think each game is going to be 9-7, 5-4? No, it's probably going to be 3-2, 4-3, around that area. But again, I kind of like the Kings and the Kings in the series in this particular contest. Now, for your free baseball selections, first one I'm going to give you is the Cardinals. They're laying at about $1.25 to $1.30 at Kansas City. Will this game be played tonight because of the severe weather issues that are plaguing the Midwest? God knows. I mean, there's like a 60% chance of heavy, heavy rain here in this contest. Now, the Cardinals lost the first 2 games in this 4-game series at Busch Stadium the past 2 nights. They've lost 3 in a row in 6 of their last 7, and they're only averaging a little over 3 runs in that stretch, and that's typical of the Cardinals this season. It's feast or famine for St. Louis. They play well. I mean, before this skid, they had won 10 out of 13 games, but they have won 7 straight at Kauffman Stadium. They got Adam Wainwright going here, and you know how much I like Adam Wainwright, but even I stayed away from betting on him in his last start, as I mentioned here on the video that day. And it's a damn good thing I did because Friday against the Giants at home, he gave up 7 runs and 8 hits in 4 1/3 innings. He had registered 20 scoreless innings coming into that contest. But listen, he was 3-0 with a 0.87 earned run average in his prior 4 starts. But on the season, Cardinals have won 9 of his 12 starts. We're not looking for the Cardinals on the run line here this evening. We're just taking Adam Wainwright in St. Louis straight up. And FYI, he's 4-0 in his last 4 starts at Kansas City with an ERA just a tick above 3. And, Jason Vargas is going for the Royals tonight. He's pitched extremely well on the road. In fact, 6 road starts this season. His ERA is 1.60, but in his last 4 starts in Kansas City, 8.34 ERA and 7 homers allowed. So even though the Cardinals lost 8-7 last night, 6-0 Monday to open this series, I'm looking for the Cardinals, who have played exceptionally well, again, winning 9 of Wainwright's 12 starts this season, to bounce back here this evening. The other play, and the play that I came very, very close to using here tonight myself, is a repeat of my play last night, the Nationals on the run line. You got Stephen Strasburg against A.J. Burnett. Burnett, 6.30 earned run average in his last 5 starts, and in that stretch, he's only worked 30 innings. How about 53 base runners? Obviously, this guy, since his second start of the season, is pitching with a hernia. He had a great stretch of like 4 or 5 starts after it was diagnosed, but since then he has really struggled. Now, it is true that he has pitched exceptionally well against the Nationals, 4-0 in his last 6 starts against them. But then Strasburg has pitched exceptionally well and even better against the Phillies. In fact, 4 starts against them since last season. He's 2-0 against them with 34 strikeouts and 4 walks in those 4 starts. I mean, he's allowed 1 run, and 1 extra base hit in 29 innings in those 4 starts against the Phillies. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. And in the way the Phillies aren't hitting, he might throw a no-hitter tonight. Listen, at home this season, Strasburg has been very good. He's 4-0 with a 1.58 earned run average. Nationals have won 10 of the last 12 at home in the series, and meanwhile, the Phillies have lost 18 of their last 27 overall. So I'll go with the Nationals on the run line. I'll also go with the Cardinals here tonight. And again, I think the Kings in the series and the Kings in game number 1. But listen, I'm not going to blow smoke up your you-know-what. I mean, Chris Jordan's a guy that's, he's researched the game. Chris Jordan emailed me 2.5 days ago and told me count on a huge play for game number 1 in the series. That's how much he loved the opening game of the Stanley Cup Finals. So there you go. This guy made up his mind a couple of days ago that he was going to be unloading tonight with one of the biggest play of his career. So that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I hope those pictures don't haunt you here tonight. I hope you don't have any nightmares or anything, but it's just the price you have to pay for watching the video. Take it easy. Talk to you again tomorrow.